Hold'em isn't the only thing Beyonce shares in common with oil tycoons. Well, she is now officially a billionaire. Forbes reports that the singer rode the success of her last 2 concert tours and other business ventures to join the 10-figure club. She is just the latest star to cross the threshold alongside her husband, Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, and others.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back, baby, with another video. Jay-Z has cheated again, and Beyonce was like, how are you gonna make this shit up to me this time around? You cannot. There's absolutely nothing you can do to make it up to me this time around. And Jay-Z was like, just watch and see what I'm gonna do. So for the past couple of months, Jay-Z has been in Dubai and everywhere allegedly trying to borrow large sums of cash. Borrowing money here, borrowing money there, allegedly, because it's time for Beyonce to be on the Forbes list of billionaires. Can you imagine? Taylor Swift has been on it, Rihanna has been on it, Kim Kardashian on it, and Queen Bee not on the Forbes billionaires list, even though I think Beyonce has been hiding her money, in other countries. I don't know. I've always had that feeling that Beyonce doesn't like people in her business. I feel as though Beyonce has been a billionaire for the past 10 years and has been hiding it out in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Barts, you name it. I'm just saying, because ain't no way this woman is just becoming a billionaire. She has been working since she was 3 days old out of the mother's womb. How can she just becoming a billionaire when she has records like none other? Like, it's not making any sense. And this is why I've stopped believing Forbes. No disrespect, Forbes, but I've stopped believing you guys like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, especially since that Kylie debacle. I think that what Forbes does, it's not as though they're lying. They can only use the figures that they can track and somewhat give an account for. And I think, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I think Beyonce keeps her private business private. I think this woman has been you guys know, if you have been following my channel, you guys know that I've always said that I believe that Beyonce is a billionaire and has been a billionaire for the past decade. And if you guys remember, when she was in Destiny's Child and she was young, Beyonce used to flaunt her wealth so much, and she saw it as nothing. She saw it as just her living her life, and she was driving at one point early in her career, she was driving like a very expensive car, and everyone would ask her. And I remember when she was talking about it and people were saying to her, you're not making that much money, so why are you driving such an expensive car? And she's like, I've been driving the same car for the past 3 years. But the point is, the car was damn expensive. And then she shifted into a few more cars and a few more stuff. I don't know. I think that Beyonce is like a hermit, because take me, for example, like, I'm a bit of a hermit. I'll have $10 million and I'll look like trash and I'll just be humble as a lamb and no one will know that I have that money and I'll never talk about it. And I just look at Beyonce and I look, she does invest in her appearance heavily, but I believe this woman has been a billionaire for the past 10 years. Like Britney Spears did you guys know that Britney Spears is actually one of the first billionaire in the music industry? Britney Spears is one of the first celebrities to make, I think it's $2 billion off of her perfumes, and she made like $3 billion off her music and catalog, and the money was stolen, and it was after her conservatorship and this amazing attorney that she has. I forgot his name. The attorney is the one who had uncovered that when Britney Spears was only like 23 or 24 years old, Britney Spears was a billionaire, but they were just finding means, ways, and methods to, steal her money from her. But guys, let me tell you, Britney Spears is on a different level, a different class, and a different scale of legendary, like you've never ever seen it. I've been watching a lot of videos. I've been doing a lot of reading on Britney Spears. Britney Spears has made marks in the music industry that no one else has made besides Michael Jackson. Not even Beyonce. Beyonce is nothing compared to Britney when Britney was doing her thing. And that's no disrespect to Beyonce. And if you look at Britney's time in comparison to Beyonce's time, for Britney to garner the success that she did without the streaming, without the social media, you know that she had to be, like Britney was that girl. But I'm just saying, oftentimes, and this is why I'm using Britney as an example, oftentimes these people have been billionaires earlier in their career, but because Beyonce ensures she protects herself. I remember one time she was asked about Britney and her response was something along the lines of, she's so happy that she has good people around her with good intentions. So, everything is taken care of. But let's get into what Forbes is saying, because they're saying Beyonce is officially joining the 3 comma club. The 3 comma, the billion. How many zeros? Someone leave a comment. How many zeros for a billion? Okay. Now, do you guys know? Don't say you know how much is a million. I didn't ask you how much zeros is a million. I said $1 billion, okay? No, they're saying, so she is joining the 3 comma club, becoming only the 5th musician to reach the humongous milestone according to Forbes. The Fame magazine, which prides itself on tracking the fortunes of the rich and famous, made the announcement on Monday, and the internet was in a frenzy, but some people are like, this woman has long been a billionaire. Now, revealing Queen Bee now joins an elite group of billionaire musicians that includes Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, Rihanna, and Beyonce's own husband, Jay-Z. Guys, do you remember? This is how you know that Beyonce has anyone who has been a Wendy watcher knows that this woman, she has long been a billionaire. I remember it was about a decade ago, not less. Wendy Williams shared with us that she heard it from good source. And at that point, Blue Ivy was about 2 years old. If that old. And Wendy said that she heard Jay-Z and Beyonce was going to get a divorce because they're having some marital problems, right? And she says that what is tying them together is their financial affairs. Because I remember Wendy said between Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're worth almost $4 billion. And then it was years after that, Jay-Z got on the Forbes billionaires list, right? So if Wendy did that video, I can guarantee you can find that video here on YouTube. I kid you not. Look for that video and watch that video. You would know that Jay-Z and Beyonce has long been billionaires, long before Forbes have made the announcement. That video that Wendy did is at least a decade old. And at that point, Wendy was telling us that between Jay-Z and Beyonce, they both are worth almost $4 billion. So I think, as I've said, Beyonce has long been a billionaire. Jay-Z too. before they hit Forbes list. And I think many other people have hit billionaire status, but I don't know what's going on with Forbes. But as I said, maybe they only use what they can account for or trace in some shape or form. And it's why she's just getting on the Forbes billionaire list. But still, I think it's very embarrassing. I think it is embarrassing. You know why I think it is embarrassing? I think Beyonce has worked hard than any of these other artists. I think she works harder than Taylor Swift, but I believe that with the hypocrisy of the industry, because she's a black girl, that has stifled her, in terms of earnings. When you may say, oh, but Rihanna became billionaire before her. Rihanna became a billionaire through her cosmetic brand. So too did Selena Gomez. It wasn't music. So, I think it's embarrassing that the industry and the people and Beyonce supporters haven't been pushing this woman to ensure that she was on the Forbes. She should have been on that Forbes billionaire list at least 10 years ago. 10 years ago. I find this to be utterly disrespectful, to be very honest. Anywho, they further state that while Beyonce made a fortune from the Renaissance World Tour, which grossed nearly 600 million in 2023, Forbes attribute her massive wealth in part to reinventing herself in 2024 as a country music star. And she's gonna go pop soon. To put it into perspective, Forbes says the Cowboy Carter tour grossed more than 400 million in ticket sales and pulled in another 50 million in merchandise at shows. The outlet projects she earns $148 million in 2025 for taxes, making her the third highest paid musician in the world. So they're saying that's not all. Forbes goes to say her NFL Christmas Day halftime show, that was a good one because she won an award for it as well. Show rang up around $50 million, including production costs, while her string of Levi commercials added another $10 million to the pile. Whew. A big reason why the Queen continues to rake it in is that she controls nearly every aspect of her career through her company, Parkwood Entertainment. Parkwood oversees her empire, managing her career and producing her music, documentaries, and tour, while fronting the costs herself to scoop up the biggest slice of the back-end profits. Safe to say, Queen Billionaire is officially in a league of her own. Congrats. Fuck you, Forbes. This woman has been a billionaire for the past 10 years. That middle finger wasn't for you guys. It was for Forbes. Forbes. Honestly, I think Beyonce has been a billionaire for the past decade, maybe even before that. I find this to be so disrespectful and embarrassing. But you know what? People say, most recently someone said that whenever Beyonce is going anywhere, she goes with a large group of people because she doesn't read and write well. It's not true. It's not true. Beyonce has invested in her education over the years, which many people may not even know about. She has been going to school. She has been learning about the business, and she has been learning other subject matter area as well. So she has been getting education, because I saw a video on TikTok recently. Someone said, oh, she doesn't read and write well, and so she has to travel with a large amount of people. The woman read and write really well, and she ensure that she has been upgrading her education. But she's not the woman who speaks and tells the world her business. But it's just that sometimes I'll come across a few articles and I'll read them and I'll match it back with, how she goes about, talking about some stuff. How she talks about some stuff can help you to put it together for you to come to the realization that, oh, she went back to school to do a course on lightings and graphics and editing and this and that. So she has been getting education, but she hasn't been just putting it out there in the public. So leave Beyonce alone. Many of y'all love to pick on this woman, saying that she can't read and write, and when she opens her mouth, she sounds stupid. You guys are doing too much. Leave this woman alone, But that's all I have to talk about in this video. And once again, I'll say Forbes, because this woman has long been a billionaire. But you would happy to put Kylie on that list to rub salt in that woman's wounds. We'll never forget you, Forbes. Anywho, they're just doing their job. But that's all I have to say about that. Peace.